And so I think we're maybe ready to start. Julissa and Mindy are our facilitators for our session today. But it's usually, and if you all have something that you already plan to start off with, that's fine. But it's always nice to at least hear people's names and where you're at. So if we could start off with that. But Mindy or Julissa, if you had something else in mind, then please feel free to share.
We would love, just because it's part of who we are and why we fell in love with holistic education, and holistic education is to take a moment and just do kind of like a mindfulness. I'll just lead like a nice body scan before we start, but maybe before I do that body scan, we could just go around and I'll introduce myself and Julissa, or Julissa can introduce herself, and then we can kind of popcorn and just get to know everybody, and then we'll do a little body scan after that, if that works. Is that good? So I'm Mindy. I just graduated with my bachelor's at SOU this spring, and I'm starting up the master's program in fall. I am a mother and a Ashland native. I am a older student. I'm in my 30s. I've already worked at the hospital and done kind of a little bit of a career at the hospital, which is really exciting and also really beneficial to my ability to be a really strong educator. It's been really helpful. And I'm really excited to come here and talk about something that has completely allowed me to like go to that next place. You know, sometimes in life there's these developments in life where you have these moments of realization that you're kind of breaking free of something and kind of going into the next world, right? You're kind of molding into the next version of yourself, and holistic education really was the catalyst for me for that. So I'm excited to talk about that, and I'll move on to my wonderful friend here. I use she, her pronouns as well. My wonderful friend on my right here, Julissa.
Thank you, Mindy. I also use she, her pronouns. My name is Julissa Taitano. I am an undergrad student here at SOU studying education. Let me think. I am a student athlete, which is, I'll share a little bit more, which was kind of difficult for me to navigate this last year, being kind of on the back end and not really participating. But I found a new love for holistic education and just this community alone. It is one of the only places where I could truly be myself and be explorative in all the different things that are interesting to me. And yeah, we just got done with the National Education Aspiring Educators Conference, which was huge. I have the honor of being the Southern Oregon delegate, so I get to go and connect with all these people that I've been chatting with via Zoom the past couple of years. So that is my intro, and I'll go ahead and pass it to Cara Smith, my dear friend and one of my BFFs for as long as I can remember.
Hi, I'm Cara Smith.
Cara, you might be best off to turn off your video because we're getting a pretty rough voice.
I also wrestle, well, I'm a student athlete. I wrestle with Julissa. Okay, so I'm Cara Smith. I'm also a student athlete at SOU. No, not better. Is it better? Okay. I wrestle with Julissa. We've been best friends since my freshman year. I'm also in the ed program. I'm going to be graduating with my bachelor's next year. I was going to do the licensure program, but things don't always work out. So I'm just going to get my bachelor's because I'm going to go to a different state anyways to get my master's in a different state. And I don't know a ton about holistic education, but I'm constantly learning and interested in it. And Julissa is always
Sounding pretty robotic again.
my brain.
Yeah. Cara, I'm so sorry. Cara has like
So
the best stuff to say too. That's why it's
learn more about it. No,
yeah, Cara, I'd call it. I'd wrap it up. I'd put a bow on it. I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm sorry, girl. I love to hear you talk too, so that's a bummer. I'm gonna just have Kim go next to Cara, and then maybe hopefully Cara, if you get a better connection, let me know and we will redo that because
yeah, no.
I'm Kim Harpo. I unmuted myself. And yeah, so we of the holistic, is that Cara talking or is that me sounding bad?
I don't know what's happening, to be honest with you. Maybe
Okay.
just take a minute. Let's just all take a minute. All right, go ahead, Kim.
It sounds like we have celestial music on slow-mo in the background. I'll just keep it as that in my heart. Can you hear me? All right. Hi, everybody. Kim Harpo of SOU Ed and the Holistic Teaching and Learning.
No worries. It's okay. I'll pass it on.
Is that me? Okay, there's gonna be a little editing. I say, hi, Cheryl. I don't know you. Will you introduce yourself?
Hi. I came to one other of these meetings. It's been a few weeks back, and every time you've had one, I feel bad that I've missed. My husband and I have been busy moving from Idaho to Minneapolis. My journey with holistic education started with Montessori. And let's see, it's been, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago. But ever since I left the classroom, I have been engaged online, learning as much as I can about holistic education. And I get frustrated when people don't want to use or don't want to hear the word holistic. I have come across other people, other organizations that I'd love to share, but I just want to pretty much listen tonight. So, thank you.
We would love to provide a place for you to put those resources, because that is something that we want to make sure that we have. So that we don't want to miss that, and I don't think we will miss that. Thank you. And then I don't know who else is left. Santi and Andrea and Jordan. We're just introducing ourselves, Jordan.
Well, I am Andrea Laupstein, and I am in Georgia right now. Just moved down here a few months ago, and my fiance and I, who are kind of helping to support this whole gathering, along with Robin, who is our technical support from SOU, are so pleased to have you all here. So pleased to have Julissa and Mindy facilitating tonight. And my current project right now is starting an early childhood program, holistic, and I would proudly use that word, Cheryl, a holistic early childhood program here in Carrollton.
Hello, my name is Santiago. I just currently started working at RCC as an academic advisor for students. So I've been to a couple of meetings and I've made the ones I could. I've been at a couple of events, and holistic education is something that I found interesting, and that's why I'm here. So thank you.
And for out-of-staters, that's Rogue Community College.
And Jordan, I saw your message. We do not want to have another robot in situation, so I appreciate that. I feel so bad. Cara and Jordan are both students at SOU. They're both juniors, correct, Julissa? Actually, you should be introducing them, not me. They're both wrestlers. They're both amazing. They're both really going to be great, fabulous teachers. So I really appreciate you guys. Do you want to say anything, Cara? I don't want to.
Sure, I can reintroduce myself now that I wasn't connected to Wi-Fi before, but now I'm connected. So I had to get off and like fix it, but I'm all fixed now. But as Julissa was saying earlier, her and I have been best friends since my freshman year of college. I'm also a student athlete. I wrestle at SOU with her and Jordan. Jordan just joined, but yeah, I wrestle with both of them. I'm super interested in holistic education. I don't know a ton about it, but I'm constantly learning things from not only Julissa, Mindy too, because I've had classes with Mindy. And I'm just super excited to continue to learn and then grow. I'm actually a senior and I was going to do the licensure program next year, but I'm not doing it anymore. I'm just going to get my bachelor's because I'm going out of state and I'm going to get my master's in Idaho. So I'm just going to get my bachelor's in education next year. And yeah, I'm going to do a 5th year. So yeah, that's it.
All right, guys. I know Zoom is so hard sometimes, huh? But we are resilient humans and we work through this and we get to be together, which is beautiful. So I'm going to try to just lead a little mindfulness moment and kind of wash away the computers. So if you could just kind of sit up in your chair a little bit, straighten out your back, you know, kind of like there's a string at the top of your head and a big giant's pulling it a little bit, not tense, but just straight. Maybe your feet on the ground. Make sure you can kind of feel your body. Let's close our eyes. Relax. Let's start with our feet. This process is really helpful to ground us. It can be difficult to come to these meetings and fully be present. So let's start by grounding ourselves right here, right now. Allow that feeling of energy to kind of go up your legs as you kind of allow your calf muscle to rest. You've been walking and you've been moving. It's time to relax now. Just let the muscles relax. Carry that warm energy up to your legs, up to your top of your legs, to your thighs. Allow them to kind of melt into where you're sitting. Take a couple of breaths in this moment and just feel that energy as it just relaxes. The legs are relaxing. You're still connected. You breathe in, you let that energy flow up your back as it goes to each vertebrae on your spine. It just kind of flows through your muscles, letting them relax, thanking them for holding you up. Slowly let that energy just flow up your back, thinking about every single spine and muscle that has to work to keep you upright. Breathe in, say thank you. Continue to slowly bring that up your spine. You get to those shoulders, the back of that back, your wings. Let your wings rest. Your head will still stay on your shoulders, even if it's not tense. Let those muscles relax. They're done for the day. Breathe in. Say thank you for them. Release it all. Slowly let that energy go down the shoulders, through the arms. Let the shoulders and the arms fall away from the ears. They don't need to be that close to your ears. Continue that relaxing, warming energy all the way down to your fingertips. Let it shoot out the bottom of your fingertips slowly. Allow your hands to rest. Your arms are so relaxed. You continue that energy up your neck. Feel it relaxing you, allowing your mind to be calm. You have nowhere else to be. You have nothing else to do. You're here. And we're grateful for that. So take your last 3 breaths. Make sure to thank your body again. Slowly allow yourself to open your eyes, come back to the group, present and ready. Anyone would like to share maybe like how that type of exercise makes them feel, or if it changed your presence from before or after?
I'll share. So I'm Robin. I think I didn't quite introduce myself to everyone. I'm an instructor at SOU. And that exercise, Mindy, was really helpful for me. I've been kind of going and doing lots of stuff all day today. And just to put my feet flat on the ground and just feel that kind of washing away of the busyness and the kind of washing in of just a more gentle sense of the self. It was very nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. And did I skip over your intro? How mean of me. I'm so sorry. I would never want to forget you, Robin. You're so important. I tend to do that, forget, the people I'm thinking about the most. I'm also graduating. Oh, so Jordan, thank you. Yeah, Jordan is graduating next year and hopefully be getting her master's. You're going to be such a good teacher. I really appreciate everybody doing that. I don't know if anyone else wants to share anything. If you do, great. If you don't, I'm gonna hand over the bowl right over to my best friend over here, Julissa, and she is going to share a little bit with you guys.
Yeah, thank you for that, Mindy. Something about spinal muscles, the muscles along the spine really made me relax because I don't realize how much I'm like forcing myself to be tense and up when I'm working. So that was very relaxing. Thank you. I'm just going to share a little bit more about my path through education, higher ed. My purpose in education, my history in education was defined by accomplishments in athletics. I'm on the women's wrestling team and I've been competitive since I was like 11 years old. And looking back now, I definitely limited myself for the justification of athletic stuff, competitions, traveling. And school was kind of this necessity for me to do sports. And in my second year of college, I had an injury and it was in the middle of my season and I had to move back home. I got my surgery and from afar, I was supporting my teammates go on to qualify for the 2021 Olympic trials. And it was during this time that was confusing and really painful for me that I longed for guidance and help to discover these uncharted lands of the self that I was never forced to participate in. And I was physically in San Jose, California, and I was virtually participating in a class called Philosophical Foundations with Dr. Green. And in this class, we dove deep into the magical spiritual world of education. And in the first week of class, we had shared, I think you all should know the Latin root for education, educare, and that is reeling out what is within. And it is with his guidance that our classroom began uncovering these truths about our inner realms. And through reflection, community sharing, and connection, we were able to create this community foundation of openness and love and understanding. And with these activities, we're able to also identify the things that mattered most to us. And in my findings, social justice and equitable education was the most important. And I think it's important to highlight that we weren't forced fed these ideologies, nor were we expected to participate in justifying our findings. And it was a prompt. We were just prompted to look inward to discover meaning and purpose. And in another class with Dr. Green titled Core Reflection, I was able to highlight the best parts of myself and use them in this real world. And I could have never in a million years expected myself to participate in leadership, run for student body president, take action in social justice. That just wasn't who I was. I was not that student. I was just a student athlete. And it was the power of this one of a kind educator who allowed me to discover my own potential, which was a catalyst for becoming the person I wanted to be. So yeah, that is where holistic education has really changed who I am. I'll go ahead and pass it to Mindy again. If you don't mind just sharing your own digestion of holistic education and how it's impacted you.
Oh, that question. Every time I get that question asked, I feel like I add an extra paragraph to the answer and it changes, which is mind-boggling. But holistic education, I know I always like to say I didn't really look for holistic education. It really found me. And it was also through holistic teachers at SOU, like Dr. Green, Dr. Kim, who, what happened was, as they were teaching me, especially in that philosophy class that Julissa talks about, these very heavy topics that in the past had been quite difficult for me to digest, the idea of reading these very like dense articles and these writing these really intense pages or papers and things like that was like pretty scary for me as a not having much of an academic history. And all of a sudden, because of the teaching, I had like taken away all of a sudden I was doing it and I was like really excited about it. And I quickly realized what was happening was that I was being taught holistically and I was actually like learning. And then once I was able to I had it done to me, the magic happened to me as a student, my brain really went off to the potential of what holistic education could be in the future and like really knowing what I could do for other students because just because of how difficult it was for me as a child, I knew that delivering something in this type of way was going to open up the doors for so many more people to learn, so many more kids to learn. And I just immediately knew how important this work was and how important it was to not only be part of holistic education for myself and my own development, but how important it was for me to educate others about this, spread news about this, and then participate in doing this and especially in like a public sphere. That's really important to me that I can get holistic education into the public school sphere, because I love the fact that we have the opportunity to have alternative schools, because that's great. Unfortunately, because of the society that we live in, that isn't the reality of actually the holistic, what I believe holistic education is. And so for me, it's very important that I can be that bridge between holistic education and the public school and the public sector, the public world, because it is magical. It will change you. It will make you stop doubting yourself, and it will open up the doors that you didn't even know you had. And if we can get kids to do that, I can't imagine that we'll be fighting for basic rights in 20 years, right? I think that we will have the kind of people that we're really going to be grateful that we have around when I'm 80. And so I think that it's such important work that there's no walking away from it. And so that's what it is for me. And I wrote a ton of notes that I didn't read any of, but let me look at it one more time. One more thing is, I don't know if you heard all these different people here. Julissa's from California. Karis, I should go back to somewhere in the Midwest that I always get confused. What's it called?
Idaho.
And then I'm not really confused. They just all start to blend together. Idaho. And then we've got Jordan, I'm sure wants to go somewhere else. And then Sandy. So we have all these different amazing holistic educators that all want to go to different places. And what I've found is holistic education is really good at staying together in their little hub. But what I have realized is that doesn't quite get holistic education across everywhere where it needs to be. However, this week at this conference with the union, I realized that the union is how I will get holistic education everywhere. The union is how I will continue to bring together all of these educators, because right now we have this amazing group and none of them are going to work together. None of us are going to work together. So what's going to happen? We're going to fall off. We're not going to be able to continue that power. But the union and being part of that and pushing forward with the ability to be fighting for teachers together across the
Mindy, we can't hear you. It's now you're frozen.
I think it is frozen. Julissa, I think we still have you. Until Mindy comes back, maybe you could continue her thought.
Yeah. It was something about being in this conference. She was kind of talking about this conference. We flew out to Chicago. It was a group of 4 of us, aspiring educators, and we really didn't. We went to it last year virtually, but something about being in person and feeling connected and sharing the same vision was this, I can't even put to words, feeling of empowerment. And we are all, like she said, there's educators from all over the place. There's probably one educator representing their state that they're a delegate for. And it was just the power of community again is going to be the bridge to make sure that, because holistic education, I think, Cheryl, as you were saying earlier, is scary. It's something that a lot of public educators and administrators are apprehensive to apply and to learn more about, because it is, the energy in holistic education is so high and is so raw that teachers are seeking practical ways to implement it, and aspiring educators even are a little bit hesitant to dive into the deep world of what it means to be a holistic educator. And really, in essence, it's quite simple, and it's just inward looking and finding the answers from within, and then creating a community that you have these like-minded educators who all share the same vision. Hey, Mindy, I went ahead and just kind of took off from your
100%. I trust everything you said, and I'm sure you said it better. So thank you. My partner was redoing his room, and he just connected the router. So I apologize.
Alrighty. So we're gonna do a little activity from our experience. It's really through guidance, reflection, and deep introspection that you have these aha moments and the feeling that this is it and this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So if you guys are willing, we're gonna break out into just pairs of breakout rooms and just share an aha moment. And then we'll come back together and chat about it.
Does everybody know what an aha moment is, just to be clear? I mean, it's your own definition of an aha moment, but something inside of you that you had an aha moment. But if you have questions, don't be afraid to ask.
Are we sharing recent aha moments or something that really changed our life aha moments, or because there's all kinds of different
I think we're accepting the spectrum, if I believe, right, Julissa? I'm stealing your time here, but
No, not at all. Yeah, it could be changing. Oh, sorry. I think I'm like, it could be a life-changing moment, or it could be something that you just realized recently. But something, I think what we're hoping to get out of this is a reflection of something that jump-started this deep yearning, something that kind of refocused your lens on anything, really. So we can just sit and think while I figure out how to do these breakout rooms. Alrighty, so we can go ahead and just share for a few minutes your findings or something interesting maybe your partner shared that was meaningful. So Kari, you're first.
Okay, I guess I'll go first. So a big aha moment I've had recently in life is, so I just got a job as a camp counselor, and then I got a call from them asking me to be a lead, like a person in charge, and they only picked 5 of us out of like 70 counselors. And this last week was the first week of camp, and like we were in charge, like coming up with all these different activities and planning stuff. And it really, the aha moment to me was like, it showed me that I can actually do this and like run a classroom and like be in charge of other people and like come up with all these activities. Like today, I had to go and we picked like different themes for the week, and we just picked, what did we just pick? space, and we had to come up with all these different activities for like a space theme. So we found all these different games like Sharks and Minnows, but we were taking a different turn and we're calling it like Star Chasers, and we have all these different crafts we're coming up with, and all these different field trips we're going on, and just like getting the kids outdoors and like having them learn in nature, and then also having them learn inside, and like just like give me this aha moment. There's so many different ways children can learn, and like that I'm a leader of this, and I'm like a counselor to these other counselors, and they look up to me, and that, and like a lot of some of these counselors are older than me, and I'm just like, they're coming to me for questions and asking me what to do and like how to treat these children. And just shows that I have these leadership skills and that like I can do anything. I don't know, it made me feel pretty good.
Oh, I know there has to be another good one out there, you guys. Don't be so shy. It's your family. We're family.
Cheryl, can I tell about intuition? Okay, so Cheryl brought up, we were talking about how actually intuition can give us these aha moments. And we were talking about how lovely it was when we could actually value ourselves and go, oh, my intuition is actually worthy, you know, this aha. I got to that way faster than if I had it gone through some kind of logical way. But did I say it right, Cheryl? Okay. And you also talked about the other little bit, if you wanted to shout out, but I'll leave it at that for now.
I guess I can go ahead and share. My aha moment, I think, happened very much when I was moving into going to college. I had just come out to my mom as I'll disclose it here, but I'm transgender, and God, this is gonna get me worked up, but my mom wasn't very accepting of it, and it was one of those things where like it was a part of me, it was part of my identity, but it wasn't just all of me. So I know I thought about it like there's so much more to me than just this one piece of identity. And when I started to learn about holistic education, it made me realize like if you just give kids the opportunity to explore and just really get to identify and know themselves, you allow them to feel like it's just okay to be themselves and not have to question a lot of things over years maybe. And I'm just now starting to unpack this within the last couple of years, and it's been a journey. And I think now that I'm finally like settled working in a job as an advisor, I have found purpose in that and meaning, and it's inspired me again and just has refueled me in that way that I just feel like there is more to me now. And I want to be able to be that kind of a role model to other kids, that it's okay to just be yourself and that you're capable of so much more, and that, you know, a lot of people might not like certain things about you, but you are who you are, and it's a wonderful thing, and you can just be you. And yeah, so thank you.
Ugh. Beautiful. Should we share our aha moments from this week? I don't even want to follow up after that, to be honest with you. Oh, maybe I should just be quiet. That was so beautiful.
We love you, Santiago, and you are this beautiful human being who, just being yourself, you're going to change so many lives. And you are already, oh my gosh, here it comes. You're already doing that in your job, working at RCC and representing the Latinx community is already doing that. And you're already just being this really awesome, authentic person. And we love you for that, because it takes a lot of courage to just be who you are and teach who you are. I'll go ahead and share another aha moment. I shared this with my group, and it was the conference. I realized that this is it. This is what we need to be doing. Community schools was the first time I ever heard about this. The state and the government funding, and at their heart, in essence, holistic schools all over up and down California now. So it's remarkable. We, I think, came out of that conference going on the plane. Everyone was annoyed because we were just brainstorming all the ways that we could bring this to SOU and make our community just this, I'm thinking of like rainbows and butterflies and trees and this beautiful community of people to come and embrace us, and we can embrace our fellow aspiring educators as well. Yeah, Mindy, if you want to share your aha moment, that would be beautiful.
Yeah, also this week, I think for me, my aha moment was realizing that that I have to do it. Going to the union, I really realized that you know, they were amazing. There was no hiding their true intentions, which was to fight for the rights of every student and every teacher. And I quickly realized, I mean, it was just what's recently happened and what we're watching happen, that those rights are barely hanging on. And I went to this union thinking, well, there's so many people protecting that, right? Like what, and then I realized I need to be doing that. So my moment was, I need to be the one getting teachers educated about what the union means for us as teachers, what it means for our students, what it means for our country. And I realized that no one's going to do it for me. And I realized that no one is more capable of doing it than I am, and that I'm a great person to do it, and I'm excited to do it. And so it was a real aha moment of it's time to do the work, and it's time to, you know, I understand the work now, and I really am excited to educate as many people as I can about, you know, what we can do and how we can do it together, and really focus on using our power as holistic education, as educators, to educate each other and educate the greater good about why we have to vote, why we have to vote locally, why we have to focus on education. And so I think that this aha moment was just like, that is me. I'm the one that needs to do that. I need to make that happen. And so it's a little scary, but it's also like really, really empowering, exciting. And yeah, it's a heavy. I'm still like just so excited about Santi that I'm kind of like lost at my brain's like spinning because I just want to go hug him. He's like really not that far away, so I can. But anyways, yeah, I'm sorry. It was just so beautiful. Everyone, this was great. I'm gonna stop now.
So I'm just going to not talk about this is not aha. This is something I know. I have so much gratitude, ladies and gents, for your trust and confidence. And because of that, to be able to share such things. Because what I just heard is somebody said leadership, and you know, you all right in this moment are demonstrating that we all have our own way. We all have our own path. We all have the thing that's going to inspire us. And I want to thank you. Cara, nice to meet you. Jordan, I can't see you. It's good to see you, even though I can't see you. And I love the fact that everybody is sharing and reinforcing, you know, what it is that each of us is going to give differently. Thanks.
Wait in a little bit more. Alrighty. So we're coming close to the bottom of the hour, which is so sad. I've been looking forward to this forever, or for the past month that we've planned this out. We're gonna do a little bit of a closing circle, and how we've planned it out is it's gonna be another meditative moment, and we're gonna ask you to close your eyes or go off camera, or in whichever form is comfortable to you. Just relax. And we're going to do a little bit of reflection. I'm going to ask you to just take 4 slow, intentional, deep breaths in, and then hold it, and then out. And then as you settle into this moment, I'm going to ask you to revisit a version of yourself who had a monumentous aha moment. Find this person. How old were you? Where did you live? What were you doing? Visualize this person, this version of yourself standing in front of you. What questions would your younger self have for you right now as you are? What would be most surprising physically? What would be surprising in terms of your lifestyle, where you're living, what you're doing? Now I want you to tell your younger self something, anything. Now I want you to go in and hug yourself, hug this younger version of you. And in your own way, say goodbye to this person, or I'll see you later. And know that that version of you is always you. It's always a part of you. They're always in there learning from you, waiting for you to show them what the next path is and what you're supposed to be doing. And when you're ready, take a few moments, take a few breaths, and come back to us. And when you're ready, open your eyes and join us. Thank you all for doing that with me. It's my favorite part of going to class, is these meditative moments of visualizations and reflections that make holistic education so special. If anybody is willing, we would love to hear some reflection, maybe the questions or the words of advice that you shared with yourself.
It was interesting because toward the end of that, Julissa, I noticed a little tear right here rolling down my cheek, and I didn't even feel sad, but I don't know what it was, but all of a sudden I'm like, oh, okay, there's a tear. And in that visualization, my younger self, or that version of me, giving that hug, and it felt like this mutual exchange of wisdom. It didn't feel as if I'm now wiser and you weren't wise then, and I know so much more now. And it was especially because you elicited that moment of that aha moment, and that was in the past, that already happened. So that wise version, there was this mutual transmittance of, you are you. And I think that's been a lovely revelation through this whole conversation of you are you. And sometimes it just takes a little reminder to bring us back to that. And I really am deeply grateful for these discussions, for this community that we've created together, because it's creating a space to do just that.
I wanted to say that it's wonderful to have these aha moments when you're 71, but I wish I had had them when I was younger. And I just am very happy to see younger people at this point in their lives tackling these things, embracing these things. So that's where you all are leaving me.
Yeah, thank you so much. I wasn't even close to being where any of you are right now. When I was in my 20s, my aha moment was about 20 years ago in my early 30s. And that time when I was just walking around Portland, noticing I couldn't think and observe at the same time, and how incredibly important it was to just really see that. But then when you had us give a hug to that person, and it was like that mutual exchange of wisdom, that was that person who hadn't just traveled for 15 years of life, didn't even know I had it in her to do that. And then just the tears just started coming. I don't know why, but it was very, it's like these two were the same person, but connecting us across the years, it really, thank you.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you, everyone who shared. We are a little bit past our time. So, Andrea, I don't know if you have any last remarks or any other closing bits. This was wonderful. Thank you all.
Thank you guys so much. This was great. And thank you for being so vulnerable and honest. Like, holy moly, like everybody, like I feel really blessed. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Julissa and Mindy, for bringing more than one tear to this conversation. Joyful, beautiful, wonderful tears. But and our next session in 2 weeks from now, this will be a very, very difficult act to follow, William, but William is going to be facilitating us on July 16th.
Andrea, I think I've changed my mind, and I would really like Mindy and Julissa to do it again.
Yeah, William, I don't think you were in the conversation at the beginning, but Julissa was speaking about, and Mindy too, about your philosophy class that they take at the beginning of their time at SOU and how that really impacted them. And I just think this whole evolution of educators, I mean, we've all been on our own journeys, but it's really wonderful to hear your journeys and now how inspired you both are. And it's amazing. It's from aspiring to inspiring. You're on the journey. And on a more technical note, I think I have most of your emails, but maybe Cara and Santiago, I'm not sure if I have your email or not, but if I don't, then just make sure that you get that to me so I can make sure you're on the email list. And of course, always feel free to share this with anyone else that you think would be interested in joining. Until next time, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.